Okay, welcome back to the channel, you guys. I just had a little bit of a mishap. I started recording and it didn't record the entire sketch process, and basically the only reason why I do these videos is so you guys can get an insight as to my warm-up process. So welcome to the channel. I've already done a sketch, but the video didn't record it, so we're going to start over. I'm working on profiles today. You know, profiles are something that I do a lot of, just because they're easy to do, they're fun, and it's something that I think, you know, everybody can really get into, especially if you're just starting out and drawing. I had a meeting with an individual yesterday pertaining to illustration and what they wanted to do. And it was a wonderful meeting. This person was going in the right direction, and I pointed them to go in the best direction they could for what I could see they were currently at. And even though, you know, I think that they have definitely a career in the art field, I'm not sure that, you know, they understood exactly what I was trying to say in terms of work and where they were at. You know, I wanted to make sure and not iterize, that's not even a word. I wanted to make sure and be very clear with my words, because you don't want to blow smoke into somebody's dream that, you know, they think they're, you know, one thing, and then they never had anybody tell them otherwise. And I didn't blow this guy's mind. I didn't sit there and say you suck or anything like that, and they don't suck. But what I needed to really show them that talent only gets you so far, right? And they had a degree of talent, which, you know, which is really good, because a lot of people don't. And you have to make up for that lack of talent and lack of ability to see with that ugly four-letter word that I think most people have issue with, because art is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, you know, something that we aspire, especially as visual people and storytellers, to really get in there and make a difference. But it's work. And I tried to iterate this to him more than once, and hopefully he got something. Maybe if he's watching my video, he understands that, you know, I came at it with a very tender opinion about the work that he had already done. But in the same breath, I wanted to make sure that he understood that it takes a lot more work than what he realizes, right? And it sure did for me. You know, I'm still, you know, I look at things all the time from a different viewpoint now that I'm older. And the fact that, you know, even though I've done quite a bit in the marketplace, that doesn't really matter to me. I'm always got that viewpoint of learning, of looking at, you know, what I'm doing with a student's eye. And even though I do have a lot of experience with what I'm doing, the plain fact of the matter is I don't ever want to think that I've quote unquote arrived. And you know, this person obviously, you know, has already gone through a very large chunk of school, and they're looking to possibly go on to a different school. And, you know, I just wanted to make sure that they realize that there's a long road ahead. And, you know, a long road ahead of doing this all the time, drawing all the time, educating yourself, you know, adapting to different things, and just being the best artist you can be. But one of the things you always really need to leave at the door, and I've said this before, is your pride and ego. Leave that at the door. That doesn't really have a place, in my opinion, in the world of art. Now, obviously, there are people out there that's kind of their shtick. That's what they do. They have a large ego, and that's what they rely upon, and it's part of drama, and that's fine for them. But for me, I want to leave my ego at the door. I'm always constantly learning, and hopefully I conveyed that to this person, because they have, you know, good stuff, and as long as they realize that they have a little distance to go with this stuff, then they're teachable, and that's always a good thing. So basically I started out, you guys saw, with a loose circle. I came down, you know, I continued this line all the way back right? There are just certain things that, you know, you can do as a quote-unquote cartoonist and artist. You guys know that I also draw animals realistically, which I love. And, you know, these cartoons that I do always have some type of base in the real world. You know, we've talked about having a skull here. I could even draw a skull, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just doing, like I said, profiles. What's the benefit of doing a profile? You know, we talk about doing 3/4 views all the time, you know, with your circle, your sphere. But what's nice about this is it breaks things down to that rudimentary, that shape. And what's nice about art, and challenging to say the least, is the fact that, you know, I would like to have successes every once in a while, right? So this, it's easy, and it gives me a high degree of success whenever I do these. They're fun. I like the sweeping shapes. I like the character designs. I like all of these things, you know, and you can really have lots and lots of fun with these shapes, you know, whenever you do them. Oh, we ran into his nose. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so you guys saw basically I drew my circle. Then I come and I'm really pushing. I'm pushing this shape really forward, you know. And then I would come back here, and here's the other half of that body, of that head. So here's the top of the ear. Now I can bring this up. He's got a very big forehead, so I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna have that nose come up and down, and then I'm gonna have this mouth kind of come right from that under part of the nose, and I'm gonna have his nostril come here, and then I've got this eye, right? It comes here, and his mouth is gonna come out here, and then his teeth right there, and then I've got this come around, like that. Okay, not too difficult. Got a little tongue that comes through here. Just a fun, you know, little drawing. His ear's a little bit too big, so I'm going to push that back. I want this jawline right here to go right up to the back of his head, and I'm going to have this ear right here to kind of break up these two areas. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically take the bridge of the nose and I'm going to come down. It's going to define where my eye is going to go here. I'm going to have this brow. Okay, it's going to make a simple shape for the brow, right? It's going to kind of break that plane up front. Then here, okay. Again, we've got it facing forward. And then come here. Right, I have this here. Got that hair. Comes here. Okay. Color that in a little bit. Color a little shadow right here. We'll have a couple little wrinkles here. Wrinkle here. Maybe that juts out just a little bit. Again, I'm having fun. I'm not getting in there. I'm not, you know, correcting the sketch too much. I literally am just sketching and having fun. I think there's a little bit too much stress when it comes to your sketchbook. I have the students do a sketchbook every week and draw. And at the end of the day, what they got to realize is sketchbook is for experimentation. You know, there should be mistakes in there. There should be things that don't look right. There should be it should be just mayhem, right? So now we'll do a third one, but it'll be much smaller. Okay, so what do I want this guy to be? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. Alright, let's do this. So we'll have here. So the basic essence of this pose is this right here. It's just that backwards S. So I'll have this come down. Here's the bulk of the shape. I'll have this come down like that. Right? And then just come around here. And then I've got my computer on right now over to the right hand side. And it's got a screensaver on, and occasionally the screensaver will change a little bit, and it catches me out of the corner of my eye, and I always think there's somebody right there. It freaks me out. I'm like, sweet molasses jelly. That's what I just did. I'm like, because I get in the zone, and I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like, I'm in the zone, man. I don't want to mess around. So he's got his head that comes around. His hair goes like this. Right? Okay, so now maybe I'll draw him partially in profile, and I'll have his nose again. Just a simple shape. Comes around, nostrils underneath, eye line, bridge. Right? And this continues around, kind of a draw through. So now I have his eyes, and his other eye. Sharpen my pencil. Using Col Erase today. Just real, like I said, I'm just having some fun. He's got here. He's got angry eyebrows. Right? He's got some angry eyebrows, go like that. He's like, are you joking me? I ordered this 2 weeks ago. Right? Comes here, he's got a mouth that comes down. And it kind of loops around like this. He's got his ear here. Okay, here. Okay. He's got some divots in his brow line right there. He's like, son of a biscuit! I'm going to define his hair a little bit better. I'm not really jigging his hair. He's needing something else. I can feel it already. Come here, that hairline goes down. Right? Here's his teeth. Kind of set back, and there's the inside of his cheek, and there's his tongue. Right? Comes here. So maybe give him some glasses. Right? There we go. Here's a little bit smaller. Shadow. Okay, so now I'm going to use my pen. Wherever it is. Oh, pen. Oh, pen, where are you? Seriously, I don't know where my pen is, bro. Where's my picks of my pen? Where are you? This ain't good, bro. Where did it go? Huh. Ha-ha! So, of course, I've got these great pins from jetpins.com. Jetpins.com, not a sponsor. And I like these pens, but the thing is whenever you're dealing with brush pens, not all brush pens are made equal. And these are very high quality brush pens. So, this is the Pigma I've been using. Love this pen because it's got some stiffness to the brush itself. Then, you come to a pen like this, and the tip is much narrower, and it's got a much more defined point. Now, it does have nice line weight to it, but if you look, I think it's running out. So that's why I'm not going to use this one. So he's probably dying. have to hold a funeral for him later. This one is really cool, but again, the stock of the pen, the shaft, not the shaft, the shaft, the brush part of the pen isn't as stiff as the Pigma. So whenever I go and do this, I don't have as much control. It's really good for details. So that's really cool, and this one's really cool again for details. But I think it's running out just a little bit. So I might use this on a later project. You know, we'll put these to the side. And this one's, again, I like this one, so we might leave him out. He's a nice pen. Okay, so we got the Pigma. So I'll probably just color one of them. I think I'll do this one right here. Excuse me. So back in the day, I used to love using pen and ink. It was kind of my jam, right? Nowadays, I still like using pen, but it's not so much my jam, right? And I learned that, unfortunately, the Pigma ink, Sakura, Japan, the Pigma ink doesn't dry as fast as I would like it to, so I've really got to watch what I'm doing and not put my hand over what I'm drawing, because that would suck, right? And we don't want suck. There we go. Got his hairline that comes here. We've got these to break up that. Okay. You know, however you guys draw, what'll happen, it'll change, right? Your drawing style will change. It's just like whenever I was watching the documentary on Van Gogh. Of course, they said Van Gogh. I guess that's how it's the proper pronunciation. I learned that in college. But you know, whenever you say Van Gogh to somebody, they always look at you puzzled. And they're like, you're a moron. It's Van Gogh. Van Gogh. But then you're like, actually, no, it's Van Gogh. So, I'm just at the point now where I don't want to battle people. I'm just like, whatever, bro. Okay. Very simple. I'm not going in there and doing too many shading things, quality, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing any of that. I just wanted to get in here and show you guys the possibilities of this toned paper. It gives it a different feeling. So we're going to have his beard come up to his right here. Maybe got some scragglers here. Maybe he's got some scragglers on his neck. You know, I'll mess around with the line weight just a little bit. Maybe this is a little bit thicker down here to show weight of the shirt. Maybe I've got a little bit of a shadow going in here. But again, I'm not trying to render it. That's not what I'm doing right now. You have to remember that. And sometimes you have to hold back. You really should hold back on doing, you know, rendering it, unless, of course, that is your goal. If it's your goal, then, man, just sit there and spend hours. But for this exercise, I'm not here to render. I'm just here to give you guys, like I said, a little bit of an idea of what is possible if you sit down and do something every day. It's going to help you. It's going to help you in so many ways. It'll help you see better, artistically speaking. It'll get rid of the fog that happens between your brain and your wrist, right? You know, just do something small. I'm not talking like major render. Now, obviously, if you guys, if that's what your goal is and you want to be, you know, that person that sits down and draws for 6 hours a day, that's your prerogative. But that's not necessarily my prerogative at this point. And that's why, you know, I do stuff like this for you guys. So, right now, I'm going to start putting in some tone. I'm going to find out where my tone marker is. There it is. right? See, watch. See, this is what happens on this toned paper. It's so sweet, right? It gives such a nice quality. It almost, it's like a fleshly quality whenever I put it on the flesh, obviously. But it's just so nice, right? Look at that. Love it. It literally picks up some of the underlying pigment from the marker. Right? So I initially, whenever I set up the art pack for my students, because at the school that I teach at, they provide the art supplies and the books and everything else as part of the tuition cost, which is really nice. But with that, there is the fact that I had to set things up as far as their art pack, what I thought they would need for class, what would be good for them. So I made sure to include Copic markers, Cawl erase pencils. I tried to pull one of these, but they said they were out of them, which is interesting. So now we're going to go to my Copic green. So, but you know, I used the Copic markers, but actually this one's almost dead. It's dead. Dead. That's all right. I got more. No biggie. Here we go. Well, that one's actually too dark. Dang it. So I'll make it a pattern on his shirt. There we go. Nice. Okay. Let's grab the other green. Highlight. Maybe some texture in there. It is fall here in the mountains of North Georgia. I'm looking out, looking at the leaves falling. It is a beautiful thing. So now we've got our kind of quasi flesh tone. Hopefully, yeah, there we go, we're fine. I want to use as much of the paper as I can. And I want to utilize these highlights in there, so it's not going to be, I'm not coloring in. I'm using the color sparingly because I want to utilize the paper color as much as possible, right? Nice. And what's cool about this paper is whenever you put that marker on there, that gray tone, it actually turns a little bit of a purple hue, which is really cool. So then we'll give him some blue eyes. Which is really nice. And this pink right here to give him a little bit of area right here where the blood flow is going to be much more. And two, you know, I always encourage the students, I'm like, you need to learn anatomy, you need to learn how skin works, you need, of course, they're like, and, you know, it really adds to your drawing. It's just one of those things that, you know, happens in your brain. It's like, you get more blood flow near your eyeballs because the skin is thinner, so you're going to see a little bit more red. Same thing happens on your nose. The skin is thinner. Your lips, it's going to be thinner. Your ears, more blood flow in your ears. You know, near your temple, you're going to get more blood flow there because the skin is thinner. And then you start putting, like, there's so many different tones. I'm not sorry, not tones, but there's so many different hues inside of skin. And you really have to realize that you know, there's green in skin. So like down here, I'm gonna put a little bit of green, right? Right here, maybe right here. So what that does is it gives you a little bit better realism as far as your cartoons go. Isn't that funny? Realistic cartoons. So we're going to put a little bit of brown for his hair. I don't want to go too far. Right? I don't want to overdo it. If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. Let's get busy. No. You shut your hole. It's called balance, Holmes. Ah, there we go. That's what I wanted. And then, of course, I can come back. I can come back with my colored pencils. Where's my flesh set? Doesn't that sound weird? Flesh set. It's my flesh set. So yeah, I've got a really cool set that I bought from Amazonians. The Amazonians. You know, which is really cool. So let's put these items over here so they are out of the way. Thank you very much. I've got my flesh set here. And what I can basically do is I'll just start coloring over it, right? So if I want the beard to have some nice highlights in it, I'm not using white, right? White is not my jam. I don't want to use white. I want to use it very sparingly. Right? So maybe he's got red hair. So I'm going to put this nice goldenrod. Goldenrod. Actually, it's not goldenrod. What is this? Spanish oranga. As I choke. Spanish oranga. Okay, so that, and maybe I've got this flesh highlight here. Right here. I'll sharpen him up just a little bit. Because I want to get the edge just a little bit. Actually, that sucked. Okay, we're at about 20-something minutes, so we're still fine. So I'll just start going in, right, and I'll just start putting these little simple highlights here and there. I'm not trying to quote-unquote render it up. I'm just doing a little bit here and there. You know, maybe he's got a little bit of a highlight on the back of his neck. It comes here. You know, I do have a white. Don't really recommend using white that much, because white kills. It kills color. So you're not going to sit there and color over the color. You're just going to maybe do a couple highlights here and there to help the overall presence of the piece. Right? And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going in and doing anything major, because I want to use that paper as much as possible. You know? So that's good right there. I like that. Maybe get a little highlight back here. A little highlight on the end of his nose. Right. Okay. So now, my every time I see this, this is made by Molotow. If you guys have ever seen one of these, it's basically acrylic. It says a 1-for-all acrylic premium paint marker, 2mm. So that's really small. The problem with these is you literally have to maintenance them, and I don't. I suck at that. So I typically use this for my really detailed highlights. Like if I want to, like if the light's coming from here, maybe I have a nice highlight here, right? And it goes on real bright. See how that works? And I can go in and I can, you know, put really cool, you know, if there's a couple highlights here and there. And it's got more of a broad tip. It's not a sharp tip, so you really have to watch what you're doing. But you can get some really fun little details. Maybe there's a little bit of shine here on his ear. His earlobe has a little bit of glisten. Maybe there's a little highlight right here. You have that highlight right here, so I'm going to come down here. Maybe there's some stuff on his eyeball. The thing is it's acrylic, so you need to watch what you're doing in terms of putting the paint down. I have literally screwed things up gotten to the point where I'm like, oh crap. You know, maybe he's got a couple things here, right? A couple little hairs here. Right, and I got a couple down here. So that is all. That is all I wanted to show you guys today. And then finally, down here, I want to get a little bit of a blue in his eyeball. So, where is it at? Oh, here it is. I just lost a pencil. It's gone forever. Off my desk. Now you can do this digitally. Of course, there's no reason why you can't. You can do this on your iPad. You can do this, you know, on so many different devices. And just that little item, just that little element. I got people emailing me already. I swear, just want to draw. Can I just draw a day? And I can go in, literally guys, I could sit here and play with this for hours, but that's not what this is about, right? So I want to put in a little background element, just something simple, maybe to liven things up just a little bit. And that's what's nice about color pencils and this toned paper, because it's just so nice, right? It's so nice. I like it. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching the channel. I really appreciate you visiting. Hopefully, I'll be able to get more and more videos out to you guys as the time progresses. I will be doing a video a day, so please check back. Ring that notification bell if it works for you. If you think I suck, then that's fine too. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I'm at that point in my life where, you know, I do suck. I do suck, and that's why I'm trying to improve myself. And hopefully this inspires you guys to improve yourself too. So thank you guys for visiting. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.